Dejanay Jackson. I'm here to bring awareness about the mental health in the black community and what we need to do to change that to be a better optimistic, better resources and more understanding, so that way that the statistics and the ratings won't be as high as they are right now. To start off, what is the most dangerous thing in the black community is the silence that doesn't is the silence trait in the black community by turning the treatable mental health struggles into silent deadly killers. It is going untreated. We do not speak about it enough, and for a lot of our black women and men especially, they go through a lot of silent battles that they are not able to talk about, and they feel like they don't have anybody to talk about it with. If you truly want to obtain health equality, we must confront the barriers to prevent African American suicide. Again, like I said, there's not a lot of resources, so that way that we can actually have someone to talk to, get the help that we need, or even have someone somewhere to go that we know is a safe place. That way we can get the help that we are in need of. That's really in our community. Going off of just a few statistics from a couple of the resources that I was able to find, in 2024, Black 23 high school students, Black specifically, were 8% more likely than students nationwide to report attempting suicide within just the past year. So it's not only an issue in our adult community, it's an issue in our children community as well. African Americans, young and old, do not feel safe, do not feel like they have a place so that way that they can get the help that they need and get resources. We need to have a safe place so that way we can get help, we can get education on what we can do to limit our space with that. We don't have the resources to get the doctors or the psychiatrists that we do need help with. If we are having the resources, they're either trainees, they're doing clinicals, or to they're not fully equipped to understand the full grasp of the actual incident or the actual um, mental health issue that someone might be needing their help with, because again they're just doing clinicals or they're just training. They're not having that much experience or background within our community or our issues, so that way they can give us the proper help or needs that we can be actually met with. Going back to even 40 years ago, between the 1930s and the 1972, with the untreated syphilis and the misdiagnosis of the African American people, we just never had the resources or never had the trusting in the health system to feel that we can be safe, or we can actually open up and be able to go out and find some help for ourselves since back then. And it really hasn't gotten any better now, especially with the um, stereotype or the trend as in black women doesn't really feel pain. We had multiple cases even this year where women going in for pain, or women going into labor with pain, and they're not being treated right, or they're not being treated as real pain, to the point to where we have had killings or we had deaths that could have been ultimately preventable, and it could have been ultimately preventable and treated. Uh, Proper research wasn't collected, proper consent wasn't collected, and treatment wasn't offered. And that's just the story of when you're black in America and you're trying to get the appropriate health or appropriate education for your health, and it just goes ignored or it goes unrecognized. And that's not only with our mental health, but it's also with our physical health as well. But we're here to talk today about the mental health side of it, which again is just very, very hard to get help with. Black individuals in the U.S. experience disparities in the mental health that lead to unfavorable health outcomes and increased morbidity from mental health issues due to centuries of racism. Historically, factors such as European imperialism, enslavement, and the myth of black inferiority, we've always been looked at as either top of the chain food line. They're either they can work harder, they're stronger, they're faster, so you can work them harder, or it's either you're not in any real pain, you can keep going, you can still going. That's just what the stereotype and the trend is in the black community is you're okay, dust it off, keep going. But that's not okay. That's not what we need to be doing. We do need to take a moment to sit back and see what is the issue, what is wrong, what can we do to help, what changes do we need to see in our health system, so that way that these numbers don't increase by as our years keep going. Our children in the black community don't have to keep feeling like they have to take their life or they have to no way out. They do have resources, they do have help, and we as Americans, especially within the black community, need to do better and figure out a way that we can ultimately answer those questions and get the help that we need for our own people. The silence is getting louder than the lack of treatment and the misdiagnosis of African Americans and the equality of health resources. For mental health to physical health, we need more effective resources for our African American community to feel comfortable. Thank you. Do you have any questions?